Your town needs you. I need you. But the Duke would have me clapped in irons.
For what? For what? For defending the place? Why is the Duke arresting people? What's going on?
Do you have a moment, Clive?
What is it?
It's the Duke, unsurprisingly. His Eminence has assumed full control of the garrison and put every able-bodied man to work on the fortifications. The town was left all but unguarded, so Philippe was compelled to form a citizens' watch to fill the void. And though my dear boys have been characteristically willing to assist him in this, they want for bodies. So I was wondering if you would lend them your strength, that the people of Northreach might sleep easier, if only for a few nights.
Of course. Whatever you need.
Thank you, Clive. What would I do without you? Philippe told me he had men stationed at...
Where can I find the mistress of this establishment?
Here, my lady.
Well, it's a lady who talked back to
whom do I
the
have the
Duke.
pleasure of speaking.
My name is Sabine, and it is my displeasure to be the daughter of the Duke of Oriflamme, who I understand is causing you and your town no small amount of trouble. I wish to speak to you about what might be done.
Very well. Let us speak. I trust you'll forgive me, Clive.
Absolutely. Our conversation can wait.
Please, proceed.
As you know, my father is a most
I'm just gonna
overbearing and
eavesdrop.
supercilious man, and I join you in objecting to his every action. Indeed, I owe you my thanks for continuing to argue against his reckless plans. Yet I fear he is not one to be swayed by reason. No. He must be made to face the consequences of his actions.
And who would make him do this?
I would. Myself and several other like-minded individuals. Were you to join us, we would surely have the strength to drive him from Northreach for good.
Does that not seem a trifle... drastic?
Drastic action is precisely what is called for. Unless you are content to see your people downtrodden and dispossessed. My father would have it that citizens exist only to serve the Empire. That they should be forced to make every sacrifice to ensure her revival. But he is wrong. It is not the people who must serve the Empire, but the Empire who must serve her people.
How did he get a daughter like this?
He's always been like this. Scornful of the opinions of anyone he judged beneath him. But he cannot be allowed to ride roughshod over the common folk any longer. We must fight him by all possible means.
Fight him? No. My purpose is to quell the tension in Northreach, not to stoke it. Respectfully, my lady. Our only chance of saving this town depends upon every one of us uniting against our common enemy. Your father and his followers included. While I understand your frustrations, I cling to the hope that he may yet be won round.
False hope, I assure you. But I see that your mind is made up. I shall bother you no longer. If you will extend me the same courtesy, I bid you good day.
She certainly has spirit.
Indeed. But unfortunately for us, that spirit is only likely to harden the Duke's resolve, which may be enough to seal the fate of this town. Not that she cares. This is all about her and her father.
Families.
I'm sorry, where were we?
I don't remember.
Ah, yes. I was about to tell you of Philippe's plans for the town watch, but perhaps it's better that you heard them from him. I believe he's in the market, if you'd be so kind as to seek him out.
Right away.
It's just a pity I cannot join you. I'd like to see the two of you in action together.
It's fine. We'll figure this out. I'm glad Sabine exists, although I wonder how the Duke even... How did he manage to raise a daughter who thinks completely different from what he does?
Your town needs you.
Philippe is outside.
Saw the captain just now.
Yes, he resigned. He is no longer the captain. He is with the people.
What does the dame have to say about all this?
Sabine.
So you are content to abandon the people? Please, I beseech you. If you are a true son of Northreach, you must fight to defend your home.
That's exactly what I am doing, milady. Or trying to, at least. The land is crawling with fiends, and someone has to keep watch.
Even when our true enemy is hiding in the garrison? Fine. You're not the only able-bodied man in Northreach. Thank you so much for your help.
She cornered you too, then?
Could hardly get a word in edgeways. Like father, like daughter, eh?
She made an uninvited appearance at the Vale earlier, hoping to convince the Dame to join her in fomenting rebellion.
I bet that went well. Her ladyship seems to have a way with people. Anyway, what brings you here?
Our mutual friend thought you might welcome some help.
Oh, she did she? Right as always. In fact, you're just the man. We've had some reports, you see. Sightings of, you know what.
They're back.
Seems that way. All over, too. We haven't been able to confirm anything yet, but if you're willing, you could go and see what's what.
All right. Where should I look?
You know Grieger's Weep? One of the sightings places them somewhere on its shores.
I'm on my way.
Thank you, Clive. I'll look into one of the other sightings. Let's rendezvous back here later.
Grieger's Weep. Grieger is truly weeping. It's not that far away.
Damn it. The reports were true. I need to stop them before they get to the town.
These are different, aren't they? Enroaching Revenants. They're not quite the Akashic stuff that we see normally. These are more like Ultima's thralls. Okay. High time, just unload. Beautiful. Of course, it's wave after wave. We're getting all of them. A bit of overkill, but... Oh, what a waste. So, since the last time I tried Rift Slip, I know we kind of moved away from it already. I looked it up a little bit to see what people's opinions on like how to actually use it are. And it seems like it should be used for, well, first of all, it seems to be more like an advanced tactic thing, which I am not particularly interested in. But in terms of what you're supposed to do with it, it seems like it's like a... You can use it to cancel out animations so that you can chain more skills together, as opposed to using it to recover from being attacked. So for example, the Giga Flare, at the end of it... Hold up.
Call that a test, Ultima?
Clive, it's me. Are you alright?
I am. But it seems the reports were true. The thralls have returned. I dispatched the few that I found, though.
Well, that's something, I suppose. But what were they doing south of town? They all came from the north last time. We might be able to fend off an attack from one side or the other, but from both?
Do you have eyes in the north?
Some. I should probably go and have a look, though, just to be sure. You head back to Northreach. I want you there just in case war breaks out while I'm away.
What do you mean?
Her ladyship's been busy working her magic on the townspeople, stirring up ill feeling towards her father. But she'll have her marching on the barracks if we're not careful.
What? This is exactly what the Dame was afraid of. I'll do what I can to calm things down.
Internal
Be
struggles.
careful out there, all right?
Don't worry, I'm not like you. One sniff of those things and I'm running back to town screaming blue murder.
We're gonna have to put the Giga Flare thing on hold for a bit, aren't we?
Do you not see, Father? The people of Northreach have given enough, and only a fool would ask for more.
Listen to me, Sabine. Where would our people be without their country, The Empire is their sword and their shield. It is she that ensures they can live without fear. But now she teeters on the brink. Without their sword, how will the people fight? Without their shield, how will they protect their kin? Can the unarmed stand against the advancing hordes? No. But there is yet hope. A new shield, a new sword. A new empire. We can rebuild Sandbreck, just as Great Griga wills it.
Perhaps we could, Father. But we don't want to. Not if it is built on the broken backs of the people.
Please, let us not quarrel in the street. You must see that no good will come of this. Our fight is not with each other, but with the threat that draws ever closer to our gates. A threat that your sword has yet to rid us of, Your Eminence.
You will hold your tongue, whore!
Excuse me.
You may have filled my daughter's head with your heresy, but I will not be corrupted.
Corrupted? Your daughter's opinions are her own, as you would know if you had ever deigned to listen to her. At least I hope they are your opinions, and not posturing born of a family feud. Northreach deserves better than that.
Northreach deserves better than you, Carla. Yes, I know who you are. The slut of Twinside who bedded a branded.
All right, we're killing him. We are killing him.
Jealous, are you? That a woman might choose a bearer over a pious man of Griga.
Oh,
Clive!
getting spicy here.
I met a swarm of thralls coming south from Oriflamme. Hundreds of them. Too many to count.
No. Work on the fortifications has scarcely begun. We will retreat to Caer Norvent and there make our stand. Did you hear me? That was an order!
While this is but a heartfelt plea, let us make our stand here and protect our homes. Protect those that we love. Together, for Northreach!
It's like East Pool 2.0. Citizens, come on!
You heard the dame. What are we waiting for? Pikemen to the gates. Archers to the roofs. Quickly, come on!
They still listen even though he's not the captain anymore.
But she is but a common...
Yeah, and you're worse.
Whore, yes. And we'd follow her to the gates of hell.
Reflect a little bit on what kind of position that puts you in.
The men have their orders, and they look like following them. I got them spaced out at regular intervals. Whichever direction the thralls strike from, there'll be someone there to meet them.
Thank you, Philippe. Rest assured the people will play their part. The herbalist has donated her stock of medicines to me. Should any of your men be injured, take them to the Vale. We'll see to them there.
Thank you, milady. I will.
I'll play my part too. You still want for numbers. Unlike the enemy. I only hope I can go some way to evening the odds. Philippe, can I leave the south in your hands? I doubt the thralls by the lake were the last of their number.
Of course. I'll lead a party down that way so we don't get taken by surprise. What about you?
I'll make my way up the road to Oriflamme. I fought a few of these things. And while I can't promise to hold them all back, I should be able to thin the herd.
All right. But take care.
Thank you, both of you.
You can thank us when it's over.
Till then, madame.
Alright.
Captain said to bring our wounded here.
And we'll be ready for them. We've got ointments and linens aplenty.
It's Amicia again, isn't
I have
it?
served the Duke for many years, and I hope to do so for many more. But I cannot turn my back on these people. Our people.
It's time to unite, my guy. As I was saying before that kicked in, the rift slip, I think I'm gonna try it again. The example I was gonna give was that if you use Giga Flare, you're kind of stuck in place, right? And then at the very end, it probably does like a long animation. Same for the Zantetsuken. So you can use Rift Slip to cancel that animation immediately and start doing other stuff. I think is supposed to be the reasoning behind it. So we can try this again. Rift Slip. Oh, I don't have points. We do now, though. If we master it, allows assignment to any icon. Yeah. And not like I have anything better to do with the points, though, so... yeah. Zantetsuken notably has a really long post-animation, post-attack animation, so maybe we'll get to see this in action pretty much here. Can we kick that Duke out of...
I want steel in the hands of every man.
Just kick the Duke out of here. Who cares about him? Lord. Alright.
If any get by, you can trust we'll be here to meet them head on.
No worries. I won't let them get by. These fields are still Akashic. Or Aether Floody. How do we even get rid of that?
There are so many of them.
Not for long.
Oh, should I use the Rift Slip immediately? That was extremely stupid. So I can't show it here, but next time, okay? Unless if Rift Slip comes back. Right, so that actually I didn't seem like I could do it there just now. Hey, 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 hey! Come here, come here. Ow! I need some more AoE stuff. This is a need AoE moment. Right, so normally that Earthen Fury would take a whole while, right? But we were able to cancel out the animation just now.
Is it over?
No. It's only just begun.
Oh, hello. Hello. Here we go. Attack all of these dudes. Right, so we cancelled out of the animation immediately. Because at the end of the Zantetsuken, there's still a little bit of like time pausing, which means we can take advantage of it if we cancel out of it quickly. It's interesting, but I feel like you need to know your skills pretty well to really take advantage of it. Like, I don't think I would be able to really do too much with it, honestly. Yeah, nice try, buddy. Yeah, look at that. That time pausing. It's not even the Zantetsuken, that's just the Dancing Steel. And normally... Yes, thank you, goodbye. Oh, I'm hitting the fence! Am I hitting him? You need to die? Today?
This one.
Thank you. I'll keep it on for a little bit more. Not too attached to it either way.
That looks to be the last of them. I wonder how the others fared. Better hurry back to town. Come on, Torgal.
Clive, it's good to see you.
And you. The road to Oriflamme is clear. How did you and your men fare?
Well, we ended up fighting for our lives down by the lake. Took a few nicks, but nothing the girls of the Vale can't put right.
Glad to hear it.
Well, it seems we've survived. For the time being, at least. I thank you both for answering the call.
You were right. And I was wrong. About everything.
I don't accept your apology.
The only way to unite the people was under the banner of Empire. That without a strong hand to guide them, they would drift apart. To be borne hither and yon by the eddying currents of fate. But you brought them together. Not by force, nor by the exercise of goddess-given authority, but by simply being one of them. By knowing what they feel, because you feel it yourself.
Our purpose was ever the same, Your Eminence. You were merely distracted by a loftier vision of empire and glory, while our eyes beheld matters closer to home.
You're too generous to him, Isabel.
You have the right of it again. As did you, Sabine. His radiance said it himself. Sanbreque is naught without her citizens. I forgot that. And I am sorry.
I'm sorry too, Father. I should never have taken things so far. I only wanted you to understand how the people felt. How I felt. But my anger got the better of me.
Do not blame yourself, my dear. This was my doing. I should have listened to you. To all of you.
Your Eminence, your ladyship, I do not doubt that you came here with the best of intentions. But I believe the same could be said of us all. We all want safety, security, prosperity. Not just for Northreach, but for the entire realm. And we may yet achieve it. If only we work together. Will you join us in this?
Yes. We shall.
Thank you, Your Eminence. Now that that is settled, I must go and see to the wounded. The Vale's doors are always open to any soldier in need of relief. And today there are more than ever before.
At least we're united now. No more of that internal bickering.
Madame Isabel is a rare soul indeed. In these dark times, I see that it is not men like me who should lead the realm, but women like her.
You're right. If only I'd listened to her when I had the chance.
Forgive me for saying so, milady, but you still do. The dame said it herself. We can turn things around. We just have to work together. And that goes for you, too. You're one of us now.
One of you.
Well said, Captain. Let this be a new beginning. Not only for Sanbreque, but for us.
Well, since there's nothing more to be done here, I should see if Isabel needs any help moving the wounded. How goes the treatment of the wounded? I'd be happy to man one end of a stretcher if it would help.
You've helped quite enough for one day, Clive. Thank you.
Don't mention it.
Oh, but I must. After all you've done for this town. It is the very least you deserve.
Tell me, if Northreach had fallen, what would you have done? A woman of your means could find a home anywhere in the realm, but I sense you would rather have died here.
It's a long story.
For you, madame, I have all the time in the world.
Very well. Long ago, I had a life in the crystalline dominion. I was Carla then, courtesan to the nobility. So sought after was I that it was only they who could afford my time. Alas, those halcyon days were not to last. For naive as I was, I fell in love with a bearer. He was my master's guard, the gentlest man I have ever known. After they discovered us together, he was whipped bloody and forbidden from ever looking at me again. And so we fled. Not that we had anywhere to flee to. We wandered, aimless and starving, half dreading, half praying that the next day would be our last. Until we found ourselves here, in Northreach. It was the veil that took us in, that fed us, clothed us, and healed our hurts. Those that could be healed, at least. My love was already too far gone.
He passed away.
Petrification?
He did. Not long after we arrived. But at least we were able to share a few moments of peace before the end. It was the greatest gift I have ever received. But the generosity of this town and her people did not end there. The men and women of the Vale supported me through my grief, shared in it, though I was still a stranger to them. They treated me like a sister. And so I swore that I would always do the same. That I would return the kindness that Northreach showed me. That I would repay my debt to the Vale.
Thank you, Isabel, for sharing this with me.
You're a lot like him, you know. Perhaps that is why I have such a soft spot for you.
Don't let Philippe hear
Never
that.
Stop fighting, Clive. And I shan't either. I know that it will not be easy to keep Northreach together. But our efforts will be rewarded. Just look at us now. The people, the soldiers, even the Duke of Oriflamme and his daughter, all united in defense of this town that we have come to call our home. And what of you? Can we count on your support too?
Always.
I am literally going to save the entire world, okay? Don't worry about it. I might not be here to support you directly, but I will make sure you are all safe.
We have brought Northreach together. Now the fight begins to keep her together. For if this town is to survive, we must all play our part. Including you, Clive.
Yes, I will go save the world. I don't need you to tell me that I need to play my part. Goodness, these presumptuous people. How are we looking? We gotta go back to the hideaway for the decision of the guy. The decision on whether we should let that guy be a scout or not. Or we could go to Aesla, where Cyril said one of the people, the what do you call them again? The third chair is there, and they went missing.
Might this be Mickelberg?
You deserve a rest.
Oh! Well, there's a whole village here. In ash?
These people aren't turned.
Yeah.
And the village seems safe enough at least. What is going on here?
Ah. Did you, too, heed the call?
Heed the call? No, I came here looking for someone. To be honest, I wasn't sure I'd find him here. Let alone all of you.
Is that so?
What are you doing here? Is this where you live?
It is my home. The others, they heeded the call.
You keep saying that. What do you mean?
They came here to perform the rite, just as King Barnabas instructed. This village is their altar, where they shall cast their souls upon the gentle waters and give themselves to the Lord.
Give themselves?
Oh, Lord, cleanse us of our sins.
Let us be reborn in your loving arms.
Free us from the torment of this mortal realm.
They want to be saved. Forgive me, but did another foreigner like me come here? He was probably wearing a cowl.
You mean the traveler from Storm? Yes. He's staying at my house, toward the rear of the village.
Thank you. If you don't mind, I'll go and greet him.
They seek the same salvation Barnabas did.
Bring us salvation.
At least the third chair still lives. Let's go and find him.
I don't know about that. This place is extremely weird. But this was the blocked off place before. Now it's opened up. They've somehow not turned, even though if they're following what Barnabas says, Barnabas is like pro-Akashic stuff, but they're not turned? Is he still alive? Okay, I was half expecting a corpse hanging from the ceiling or something.
Excuse me. Are you with the Undying?
I am. And so it would appear, are you?
Hello, you see your grace behind me?
Lord Rosfield, if I am not mistaken.
That's right. And you must be the third chair.
I am.
Cyril was worried for your safety. He sent me to find you.
Then I must apologize. I did not mean to trouble the bearer of the burning quill. Much less you, my Lord Marquis.
He said that you had failed to report. Is there a reason for that?
I came here to study the followers of this new faith. But the more I learned of them, the more my own faith began to falter. You have seen them at their prayers, have you not? They devote themselves to the veneration of their Lord with a fervor I have never seen before. Praying night and day that they might be rid of their wicked wills and reborn in their Saviour's light. Not that they might be granted respite from their worldly woes, but so that they might continue to serve him. Serve him with all of their beings.
Well, he's dead.
I, too, swore to devote my life to the service of my Lord and Master, but this... 'tis different. It is more.
How do you feel about that?
And so I would see it through to the end. See these people safe, that they might achieve their dream. That they might do their duty to their Lord. Even if it should keep me from doing my duty to mine.
You do understand what their dream is, don't you?
I do, my lord. They would cast aside their wills and become Akashic. I know that it may be hard to believe, but to these people, that is the very essence of salvation. Forgive me, my lord, but I must remain here. If you are to return to Master Cyril, I would consider it a great...
Oh, they're turning.
Did you hear that, my lord? Something is happening.
I'll go find out what. Stay here.
Very ironic how everyone in Ash turned Akashic already, except for the people who are praying to become Akashic. Oh, the flood! How timely! Okay, third chair, we've seen it to the end.
An ether flood. Oh no. There must be something I can do.
Yeah, kill the Akashics. Oh, they're alive!
Echoes as well. Found her.
Ready, brother?
Ready.
Right, so I immediately cancelled out of that animation. That's kind of nice. Oh, this is such a waste on the one little dude. Yeah.
What now?
Wait, this is a fallen ruin. Yeah, that's why there's the echoes there. What the hell?
We meet again.
Somebody save me.
I've killed your kind before.
God, I really don't want to sound like such a complainer, but sometimes I'm just like... I'm like up to here right now. Thank you. Are the people gonna be okay though? Because we are inside an ether flood right now. And they're not bearers. We gotta go.
Damn it.
Oh no!
Don't you die. Come on, speak to me.
I had to save them, that they might have a chance to find true salvation. By devoting themselves to the service of their Lord. Just as I did when the Undying plucked me from the gutter and gave me a cause to believe in. A duty to serve was everything to me, and I would not deny them that fulfillment, even if they must become Akashic in order to achieve it. Forgive me, my Lord Marquis. I did not mean to trouble you with this.
I won't forgive you.
My findings. Could you deliver them to Master Cyril for me?
Of course. Your duty will be done.
You realize that you've directly created people that we have to kill, right?
Look, my lord. They are saved.
I can't agree with what this guy's doing. Just because he wants them to serve just like he does. Now we gotta kill them. We gotta kill these people. They're not attacking us. We're just gonna leave them alone then?
They are saved. Found her. I should get this report to Cyril.
That would be a good idea. Can you tell us something about Ultima then? You were supposed to be researching that and I haven't heard anything about your findings yet.
My Lord Marquis, welcome back. I am glad to see you hale and whole.
I met with your third chair, Cyril. He bade me deliver his findings to you.
Thank you, my lord. He remained in Ash?
He died protecting the villagers from an echo. I buried him in Mickelberg. I'm sorry that I couldn't save him.
If you could not save him, no one could.
The villagers, they were believers in this savior cult. They prayed to their god that they might be unburdened of their wills. Then an ether flood came, and their wish was granted. Your brother sacrificed himself that they might live, even knowing that that life was death by another name.
Then he perished defending liberty. A hero's end.
Really? Akashics are a problem, though.
For the right to choose how one dies is no less sacred than the right to choose how one lives.
Sid would agree. He wanted to build a world where people could die on their own terms.
A noble ambition. To die for one's cause is the most perfect expression of one's faith. It matters not how misguided others might judge one's decision to be, only that the decision is one's own. We live according to the teachings of our order. We believe in them, we protect them, and yes, we die for them. For better or worse, that is our creed.
But he didn't die for your creed. He died to save them, and you still believe that what he did was right.
I believe that he believed it was. We of the Undying are not slaves, but willing servants. And this was his will, the ultimate expression of it.
All right. I'd like to know this man's name, Cyril. To know the names of all the Undying who've fallen in the line of duty. They died serving my house. It's only right that I remember them. That is my duty.
Of course. I shall fetch the Book of Martyrs at once. My lord, it has been, and shall ever be, the greatest honor of my life to serve House Rosfield.
You're putting too much stock into this.
Though our duties may differ, yours is no less important. I pray with all my heart for your success. And were they here, I have no doubt but that every one of my fallen brothers and sisters would feel the same.
Okay, I can somewhat agree with to die on one's terms is something that they should get to decide on their own, if your death doesn't affect other people. Which it does here, because if you're an Akashic, you're gonna go attack people randomly. We didn't see them attack anybody there. So I guess it's okay if they remain in Mickelberg and just stay there. But is it really? I don't know, these Akashics, the Undying are all, they're very principled about things that, I don't know, other people would view differently. Okay, this one is about my uncle. We're meeting Eugen Havel here.
Turncoats and cowards, the lot of you! If it's a fight you want, it's a fight you shall have!
Allow me.
I don't need your... Please, Field Marshal, oblige him.
This won't take long.
You're right. It won't.
You're really gonna fight me?
Men, finish him.
Okay, gladly. Feel free to do your thing. Dancing Steel should make short work of the people here. There's a few more people you could have attacked, I think. Didn't even take out my sword yet. The Arm of Darkness. I've got a full Zantetsuken. Anybody want it?
A little longer than I'd have liked. Field Marshal Havel, I presume. Are either of you injured?
No, my lord. You arrived just as our escort turned on us.
Fucking traitors. I'd heard reports of soldiers in the outlying regions abandoning the oaths they swore. But I hadn't thought the corruption had reached so close to the heart of the Republic. It's a fucking disgrace. Your interfering old bastard of an uncle tried to warn me, of course. My lord Marquis. Or is Sid the Outlaw more to your liking?
Call me what you want.
Uncle said he wouldn't like the outlaw
Change who I
stuff.
am, or the urgency of the message I bring. My uncle has a plan to right the realm, and he needs your help to see it through.
Before I agree to anything, I'd have you answer one question. What do you stand to gain from all this?
I won't deny that I might benefit from further chaos.
Would you really?
But I seek a new beginning for all of us. And while the choices I've made may not always have been the right ones, I know I made them for the right reasons. For so long, so many of us have been told how we could live, how we could die, when it should have been our decision all along. Now we have a chance to put things right. But in order to take it, we must stand together, even if it be beside those with whom we don't see eye to eye.
Certainly not the words I expected from an outlaw. But perhaps your uncle was right. You are no ordinary outlaw. I'll never hear the end of this. All right. I'll start by ordering my most trusted guard to bring the Dhalmekian fringes under control. Next, I'll make contact with my counterparts in the Imperial Army and see if I can't convince them to try and restore order in their own territory.
Thank you, Field Marshal.
But they are not the only ones we will need to convince.
What do you mean?
I don't doubt that I can bully some sense into a few generals, but those they answer to require a different kind of persuasion. And when it comes to honeyed words, well, we will need an envoy. One who can court even the most stubborn of statesmen. You, perhaps.
Oh, no, no, no.
I'm flattered. But I'm no diplomat either. And I have other problems to attend to. What we need is a skilled arbitrator. And I may know just the person.
Is that so? And would he happen to be an outlaw too?
Of a different kind, perhaps.
Well, beggars can't be choosers. I suppose we'll all have to find a little of the outlaw in ourselves if we're to make it through this. Very well. Send your man to me right away.
I shall.
Who are you thinking of, Clive? Skilled arbitrator? Lubor?
My lord Marquis. Your lord uncle bade me escort the field marshal to his manor in Port Isolde.
And I will see that my associate joins you there.
Very good, my lord.
Huh. An envoy. I'm not sure I'm the man to talk anyone round. I can barely convince my brother to take his medicine. No. This is a job for someone with experience. Someone like Quentin. I hope I can convince him at least.
Oh! That's a bizarre choice. How goes rebuilding efforts, everybody? Hello, Quentin.
Quentin, I have a proposal for you.
Do you now? Something tells me you'll be asking more of me than a cask of Gotand gold. Go on then. Propose. You'd have me convince the chiefs and chamberlains of the realm that they should simply swallow their pride and do the one thing that has proved impossible for thousands of years. Was there anything else? Perhaps I can fetch you a meat pie as well.
That would be lovely.
I know it's a lot to ask, but I can think of none better suited to the role.
And you'd have me give up what little I have left to do it. I told you, Clive. The people of Lostwing are my family, and I cannot abandon them. You'll have to find someone else.
I'm sorry to hear that.
So am I.
And why might that be?
What he's asking. How's it any different to what you've done so far? They want you to speak for those who can't speak for themselves. That's what you do best. If it's the vineyard you're worried about, we'll see that the grapes are picked and the tons filled. You know we will.
It's not that.
Then what is it? You said yourself we're family. Don't you trust us?
You know that's not what I'm...
Then what are you saying? That only we are worth saving? Why turn your back on everyone else? You convinced us we could build new lives for ourselves, and if you can do that, who's to say you couldn't convince the entire realm?
A stirring argument. I fear that any rejoinder I make might fall somewhat flat by comparison.
So you'll join us?
Where do you need me?
Field Marshal Havel will want to speak with you in person. He's currently in Port Isolde. I can arrange for a party of Cursebreakers to accompany you there.
That would be very much appreciated. I hear the roads are far from safe these days.
Hopefully not for long. My uncle will want to know that his plan is taking shape.
Let's tell him.
Uncle, I bring good news. The Field Marshal has agreed to your plan.
Ha! Of course he has. I didn't doubt you for a moment, dear boy.
Rutherford is accompanying him back to your manor in Port Isolde as we speak. They will await your return there. As will one other.
One other? Who, exactly?
A friend?
Lord Havel was concerned that even if he could get the realm's armies to agree to an accord, he might not be as successful in convincing those with political power. He asked if I might have a solution, and I suggested a certain Imperial Lord Magistrate turned Liberator.
One of your co-conspirators?
Master Quentin would probably call me one of his, but yes.
Another outlaw, then?
No,
Just the thing we need to put these rotten politicos in their places. Good thinking, Clive.
I'm glad you approve.
The more the merrier, eh?
Uncle, assuming Havel and Quentin can solve our problem with the armies, you still haven't mentioned how we might manage the grain shortages.
Oh, don't you worry, my boy. The 7 high houses will be seeing to that. They have all agreed to make the most generous of donations. Oh, of course, it did take a little persuasion.
What's the catch?
But luckily I had some unexpected help.
From who?
Why, you, my boy. Rumor has it that you rescued the Lady Ariane's head steward Rockford from a horde of bloodthirsty bandits.
It was more of a handful.
Well, the old battle axe was so pleased. She had a shipload of talents delivered to my private docks by the next new moon. And when the other houses saw the parsimonious old crone's purse strings finally loosen, they as good as tripped over themselves in the rush to follow suit.
I'm happy to hear it.
Now, I must be getting back to the manor. Join us there at your earliest convenience, would you?
Of course, Uncle.
I will. But while I'm at the hideaway... Okay, I think we're going. I wanted to go back there and do other stuff, but alright.
And how, pray tell, will we get that grain to the capital if the roads are still overrun with Akashic?
You'll find another bloody road. I only have so many men, and I'm not about to send them headlong into an ether flood. That is, unless you'd have them turn as well.
Well, I'd certainly eat less.
Says the man with a belly bigger than a band of curls. My soldiers actually need their rations. Without any food to keep them going, they'll be dead even before you've sent them on your fool's errand.
If I may, gentlemen, perhaps I might suggest an alternative approach. Though supply routes are indeed disrupted, there is no shortage of ships. Indeed, they bob away in every bay from here to Randalar, awaiting a safe haven. Allow them to make port and fill their bellies full of grain. And once those who crowd the cities are fed, ferry the displaced back to the countryside to work the fallow fields. But I'm sure that you wish to continue your discussion. Forgive the interruption. Two such firm friends as yourselves need no help from the likes of me. Rutherford spoke fondly of the great bond between you.
Us? Friends? I can't stand the man!
Clive, I'm beginning to question the quality of the company you keep.
And what kind of company are you expecting him to keep? The man's a criminal!
I'm sitting out of this one.
How dare you? You are not fit to breathe the same air as this fine, upstanding young gentleman.
Upstanding? He calls himself Sid the Bloody Outlaw!
Once more onto the breach.
I don't think I call myself that, do I? I call myself Sid, not the Outlaw.
Shall we begin again? What we seek here is not to create a new nation, nor to claim the thrones of those that already exist. We wish simply to bring stability to the realm that mankind might weather the current storm. And to do that, we must convince those in power, the generals, the statesmen, the nobles, that our cause is just. There will be disagreements, yes, and I imagine some resistance, much resistance. But we cannot let that deter us. If we show them the path, show them that we walk it ourselves, then I am confident they will follow. The fate of the world lies in my nephew's hands, but the well-being of her people lies in ours. And we must not squander the chance that Clive has given us.
Uncle Byron, aye.
Now, with that settled, let's move on to the signing of the Accord. For what great moment in history hasn't been accompanied by a little ceremony?
Who are these people to really decide for the entire nation?
Citizens of Valisthea, I present to you the triunity. Rutherford, Mike Will.
Shouldn't the Duke of Orflan be here? There seems like, I don't know, a lot of more people should be here probably. It's almost like a foregone conclusion that we'll be okay with saving the world. We'll make it happen for sure.
Well, my boy, the stage is set.
That it is.
This is the role you were born for. Now I ask only that you trust in the talents of your supporting cast. We shall play our parts to the best of our abilities, that you might have the opportunity to shine. The realm needs its Sir Crandall, and there is no better Crandall than you, Clive. I want you to keep this signed accord as proof of our faith in you.
I will. Thank you, Uncle.
Yeah, these things, I really have to make sure to save the world then, right? Otherwise, your accord would have been signed for no reason. And we can't have that happen.
Sorry, can't take you where you need to get to, but the Argo and me will be waiting when you get back.
Okay, no worries.
What do you think that thing is?
And how the hell is Sid gonna deal with that?
Yeah, I can barely see it through the clouds. Maybe if I don't see it, it's not real. So this is very exciting because I think we only have one quest left. Not the one that we're going to right now. This is me handing in the whole... We're making a decision on whether we want to accept the guy as a scout or not. But other than this one, I believe we only have one more. Isn't that crazy?
There's something about it.
You should have seen.
Oops.
Welcome back, Sid.
Welcome back, Sid.
Yes. Welcome back. Trip wasn't too much of a pain in the arse, I hope. Truth be told, it was me who suggested roping you in to help with the trial. But from what I hear, things didn't go quite as planned.
No, they most certainly did not.
I'm actually a little bit curious about the no, but you know what? It's the end of the world. Come join us.
Ember lost his nerve in the face of a beast of prey, but he didn't lose heart. He pressed on, and he achieved his aim. And is that not what we ask of our scouts?
Indeed it is. Thank you for your honest appraisal, Sid. The fact remains, however, that Ember will not always have a battle-hardened warrior on hand to pluck him from the jaws of peril.
Yes.
All I have gleaned from this trial is that without someone watching his back, Ember is little more than a liability.
Yes.
Wait, Sergeant. Ember still has much to learn, it's true. And this time he was found wanting. But I'd say he's due a second chance, nonetheless. After all, he did do as you asked.
With a bit of hard work, any hand can be made to hold a blade, and any mind can conquer its fears. But a scout's nose is different. You've either got one, or you ain't. And by sniffing out that log, young Ember here has shown he has a conk and a half. Wouldn't do to waste it now, would it?
Fine. One more chance.
I'll do whatever you ask.
In the right way.
I'll spend my days and nights in the pit if I have to. I'll show you. Just you wait.
Daft as a brush, that one. But his heart's in the right place. Just like someone else we know. And if you ask me, we've been leaning on him for far too long.
Gav?
That time the curse breakers took some of the weight off his shoulders, I reckon.
It couldn't hurt.
Just don't tell Gav I said so, will you? I won't have him thinking he's been hard done by. Next thing you know, he'll be asking for a day off. Chance would be a fine thing. Back to work.
Forgive me, Sid. This did not play out as I expected.
Things really do these days. But that's why we need men like Ember more than ever. Men who can make the best out of a bad situation. Remember that.
I will, Sid. Thank you.
It feels like it should be quite a problem that the best scout we have is a person with one eye. Does that just say something about how good Gav really is, or does everyone else really suck? What the hell, dude? Oh, it's Gav. It's talking to Gav. Okay, well. Okay, let's read a tad first, okay? Looks like we're not quite out of the woods just yet.
I was wondering when next you'd visit. I have a few new notes that might interest you.
We gotta wrap up soon. Can we get to level... Ooh, probably finishing everything gets us to level 8.
What subject shall we consider today?
Lay of the land... Oh, Northreach. Following the attack of the thralls, there is Citizens' Watch. The High Cardinal gave up on the whole fortification stuff. And Isabel and the Cardinal are now working together. Fantastic. Crojit Echoes, a bleak ochre wilderness stretching through central Dalmekia. We passed through it briefly when going to Canver. Kingdom of Waloed, sole surviving nation in Ash, maybe not anymore. Yeah, not anymore, basically. Drake's head was shattered, leaving the capital of Stone here without Mothercrystal and king. No king? We don't even understand the structure of Waloed as a kingdom, so after Barnabas dies, Barnabas has been king for so long, I don't think the nation will know what to do. Stone here, capital of Waloed. Its Mothercrystal Drake's spine was eventually destroyed by Sid, but this time, the city had already been lost, so doesn't even matter. Now it's orcs and masterless beasts. Wait, didn't this mention Drake's head earlier? This is supposed to be Drake's spine, right? That might be a mistake. Or maybe that's another one. Royal Knights of Waloed. At Ultima's instruction, Barnabas supplemented his ranks with orcs, creating a hybrid force of people plus orcs. Even after Barnabas died, the army just turned into Akashic thralls, and that's pretty much it. Isla, a settlement in mining country in Waloed. With the advent of the Arche, the residents disappeared to reverie. Mickelberg. In Waloed, after being abandoned by its former residents, it became something of a gathering place for followers of the Savior cult recently arisen on Ash. Garnick, mountain village in Waloed. Not much is left here except we found from the distance here. Harpocrates' friend was gathering a lot of books here. Badbach Conservatory, the orphanage for bearers where kids got beat up and tortured and all that. Fantastic. Shadow Coast, where Jill and I got stranded, completely consumed by Blight pretty much. Yeah, there's nothing here. Boiling... No. Crystalline Dominion? Well, I mean, what's happening now with the Dominion? It's not really anything anymore. The fall of the realm's final Mothercrystal at Drake's spine caused an ancient construct to rise from beneath their city, sowing death and devastation in its wake, and effectively decimating the already reduced populace. Oh, people died from that! Because they got trapped inside the crystal and we don't even know what's going on inside the crystal. Silver Peak Consortium, trading houses, buying slavers. Eloise was invited to join them, but she said no. And they were... yeah, they just wanted bearer trading. Naldia Narrow, a region of sea south of the Strait of Altha, between Storm and Ash. The trading ports of Canver dot its western shores. Her currents are swift, but storm-free skies and an abundance of marine life allow the Narrow to serve as a source of much of the region's food. That's the sea that got split into two, basically, right? Southern Isles. It's a nation once based on an archipelago in the seas to the south of Valisthea. Ah, so it's not part of Valisthea. Interesting. It had some trading with Dhalmekia and Canver on medicines, but then the Blight kinda destroyed the entire thing. Whoops. Yeah, the Blight it exists outside Valisthea too. They brought it here. Ultima brought it here. Savior cult. A religion based on the Circle of Malleus, where followers worshipped Ultima as a god, popularized by Barnabas. And they just wanted to become Akashic and lose their wills so that they can shuffle off their mortal coil and be freed from the torments of the mortal realm. Triunity of 878. Does this really count? My uncle of the Seven High Houses, Quentin of Lostwing, Field Marshal Eugen Havel of Dhalmekia. I feel like these people don't really have enough power to really sign a thing like this, but they did it. Given their home countries of Rosaria, Dhalmekia, and Sambrecht respectively, the name of the famed Treaty of Old all but it suggested itself. It's a treaty just to basically try to stabilize the chaos in the realm. It's not like hey, this is how we're gonna trade bearers or whatever, so I guess that's okay. Interdimensional Rift. A place beyond space and time, termed both a rift between worlds and our darkness by its creator, Ultima. Clive and Joshua were forcibly summoned here by the mad deity when they ventured too close to the heart of Drake's spine. Upon fighting their way free, the pair emerged to find that their victory over Ultima had resulted in the shattering of the Mothercrystal. It's tied. These things were somehow intrinsically tied. What am I missing? Cursebreakers. Yes. The Order has greatly expanded its ranks and operations since the move to Benmir. While Otto manages their activities, day-to-day operations are led by Doris and Cole. We haven't seen Cole in a while. I'm surprised he wasn't one of the quest people. New recruits have to undergo induction tests. Makes sense, it's dangerous. We will leave the people for when we come back.
You are always welcome, Clive.
Alrighty, Gav. What do you got for me?
You alright?
Something troubling you?
No more than usual. It's just... Etta's baby will be coming soon, and I wanted to make something for it.
I'm sure she'd like that.
Back in the north, families would always make gifts when a bairn was on the way. Yeah, let the little tykes know they were welcome in their new homes, like.
So, what's the problem?
Well, the problem is that Etta's due any day now, and I don't know if I'll be ready in time.
Is there anything I can do to help?
You know, there just might be.
All right then. What exactly are we making?
He's almost acting like a dad.
A good luck charm. But not just any good luck charm.
Not just any.
No. One made from the feather of a silver chocobo. There's naught lucky in all the realm, or so we used to say back home anyway. Thing is, they're hard to come by. Had Otto and Karen check with their suppliers, but nothing. I'd try and track one down myself, only...
Only the big day is fast approaching. And that's all you need, a feather.
That or the bird whose oar sits attached to, aye. I was gonna start by asking around with travelling traders plying the northern borders.
Well, there's no shortage of those passing through Martha's. I think I might make that my first port of call. I'll let you know if I find anything.
You're a good friend, Clive. I won't forget this.
Well, it's nice that you're trying to make Etta feel welcome. We want her to feel like she belongs.
Can't say I've ever seen a silver chocobo myself, but I have seen one of their feathers. Look just like a normal one, only silver, obviously. Well, grey.
Isn't Ambrosia good enough? Why do we have to search for a different chocobo? I don't even know. I'm gonna check out my missives just so we don't have so many when we come back later. Also kind of curious if Jill has anything after the flowers.
What's on your mind, Clive?
Memories. I still can't believe you remember that day on Man's Hill.
For so long.
Our lives here have been defined by loss, but our memories, those no one can take. And if they truly are the only things we can hold on to, then I want more.
So when this is over...
Let's travel the world and make new ones, and I will hoard them as a dragon does her gold, for my memories with you are the most precious of all.
Be strong, Clive.
Let's act like a normal couple after I come back. We can go on dates and stuff, yeah? All those normal couple-y things that we never got a chance to do. The greatest gift. It feels like a lifetime ago. It was a lifetime ago. That afternoon on Man's Hill was our very first adventure, but somehow I knew even then that it would not be our last. I will never forget that day, and the simple fact that you have not either fills my heart with a joy so fierce I cannot describe it. Since the moment we first met, you have always been an important part of me, the half that makes me whole. When times are darkest, you are my light. When I am lost, you are my guiding star. You are just what I need. You are all that I need. You are the greatest gift. Jill. Oh. To have a girl write such a romantic love poem to you, you're a lucky guy, Clive. That which conquers all. Here, not long removed from when you last placed yourself between us in peril, I sit and pen yet another letter in which I try to find the words somehow to express the gratitude of an entire town. Still, something feels different about our latest triumph. Where in the past we leaned ever so heavily upon your good graces, this time we found strength elsewhere, in ourselves. Our hardship has shown us that which should have been apparent all along. We are not as different as we want to believe. Does a peasant love his homeland any less than a noble? Does a bearer love his family any less than another man does his own? It is this love that has united us and given us true strength. Should every thrall, Akashic bandit, and brigand in the realm come charging at our gates, we will not fret, we will not falter, we will fight, and we will win. Isabel. Good, good. Keep up the spirits. Note of thanks. My Lord Marquis, I write to thank you for the kind consideration you have shown for those whose names are written within the pages of the Book of Martyrs. I know that it would move them deeply to know that the first shield of the Phoenix laments their passing. Though each and every member of our order stands ready to sacrifice their lives in service of the Phoenix, I do not doubt that those who are taken before their time go with regret for the long years of duty left undone. That they should live on in the memory of a proud son of House Rosfield, such as yourself, shall surely go some way to soothing their sorrows. May the Phoenix's flame burn ever in your heart, Cyril, bearer of Burning Quill. Well, you guys need to treat yourselves better then, okay? If you're gonna regret not having time to do your duties, that's a good reason to be alive. Treat yourself better. Investigating silver chocobo feathers at Martha's Rest.
Let's hope one of the merchants here has what Gav needs. Excuse me. I'm looking for something.
Oh, well, then I'm your man.
A silver chocobo feather.
Oh, or maybe not. Though you're not the first to mention the bird around here. There was a man stopped by the rest not long ago claiming he was attacked by a silver chocobo near some gutted hovel not far from Eastpool. Most took him for a braggart and a liar, but who knows? Perhaps there was some truth to his tale.
We'll see. Thank you.
Clive, please be smart. Look at Ambrosia. Look at the color of Ambrosia. I feel like we can solve this if you would just think a little bit. Any merchants in here, or is it just Martha?
Just about surviving, are you?
Ooh, Martha's past.
When I was a little girl,
my family owned a bearer. They let her sleep in a corner of the barn and had her play with me and teach me letters. We never ate together or slept under the same roof, but even so, she was like family. I was with her on the day she died. She held me in her arms and whispered in my ear, "My darling Martha, I'm so glad you didn't awaken." What? It was only years later that I found out she wasn't just a servant. She was my grandmother.
My grandmother?
And I watched her die in the corner of the barn, on a pile of old straw.
I swore then and there
I was going to do everything in my power to bring an end to all this, to never stop fighting until the day when bearers can live free, just like she deserved to. And you know what? When I see that glint in your eyes, I reckon that day might be along sooner than I dare to hope. That would depend on me saving the world from Ultima first. These are two different things. Yeah, the whole Ultima line and then the whole bearer slavery line. How are the Guardians doing? Weren't long after Rosalith got ransacked that Sir Wade and his men turned up at our gates begging for shelter.
Put the wind right up us.
It did. The state of them, all dressed in filthy rags, we were worried they might be cutthroats come to thieve and pillage. But some of the folk they'd help escape from the capital recognized them and set us right.
And thank goodness they did.
I couldn't have dreamed of better guests than the Guardians, the way they took the bearers under their wing and taught the Blood Axes how to fight like true shields of Rosaria. And when night fell, and they'd all gather around the bonfire to sing songs of the old duchy, why, it was enough to bring a tear to your eye.
Like being back in the glory days.
With them the knights in shining armor come riding to the rescue. Well, you say that now, but we know that you got sick of them eventually.
Half of me wishes they hadn't left.
For Eastpool, but the other half knows they're better off up there, and they're only a stone's throw away if we need them. And we're just down here if they ever need us, because that's what Rosaria's about. Not preening knights and mooning maidens, but proud, hard-working men and women helping one another out. Good. How's the rest in general?
It ain't exactly a bed of roses.
Right now, we've got aether floods cropping up all over, and new arrivals turning up at the gates nearly every day, begging for us to take them in. Ever since the skies turned, it's been a struggle just to survive, but you won't hear any of us complaining. Not least because we're finally free of the Empire's grip. The garrison's been pulled back east, and the few remaining black shields have gone with them. Which also means we don't have to fear for our bearers no more. We can even treat them like the human beings they are, just like they're doing up in Eastpool.
And that's just a start.
If we can make a good go of Eastpool, it'll show the rest of the realm you can live without magic, without slaves, that we can all be free.
Stop by for an ale any time, eh?
Let's not get ahead of ourselves, Martha. We don't know about that. No merchants in here? The sellsword? Brennan, was it?
Ah, Lord Rossfield. Don't look so surprised. I expect the Burning Quill already told you that the Undying have eyes everywhere, and mine just happened to be here in the rest. I wanted to thank you, my lord, for all you've done for our people. You've rekindled the fire in the heart of every true-born Rosarian.
Wait, you're...
Like the phoenix. The duchy shall rise again. Not on any map, perhaps, but in us. I wish you the best of luck on your journey, and may the Firebird's flame burn ever in your heart.
This guy is part of the Undying? My god, I did not know that.
Anything catch your eye?
Because it was supposed to be like a secretive order and all that, wasn't it?
That all, is it?
Just because the heavens have gone to Rackaroon.
Here we go. Merchant number 2.
How do, traveller? You've the look of a man who could do with a new whetstone. Or perhaps a bawdy etching of the Vicerine.
Maybe another time. I'm looking for a silver chocobo feather.
If that's the case, rumours are all you're likely to find. No one has seen a silver chocobo for years.
Clive.
Word is they were all hunted for their feathers. Some northern nonsense about bringing good luck. Didn't bring them much, nor their bows. If any are still out there, I reckon they'll be doing their damnedest not to be discovered.
You're probably right. Thank you anyway.
Clive, goddammit, white and silver are close enough that you should be thinking about this. Why is it not crossing your mind at all? Oh, here we go. A grocer.
Can I help you with summit?
You wouldn't happen to sell silver chocobo feathers, would you?
I deal in fruit, not fancies. But if it's fancies you're after, I suggest you try Rhiannon's ride.
Was a silver chocobo seen there?
Oh, yes. If you believe the ravings of a madman.
It wouldn't be the first time. A silver chocobo sighted in the hills near Rhiannon's Ride. It sounds almost too good to be true. But since I'm already here...
Oh my god, there's one right here, seriously.
Good God.
This is not a silver chocobo. Good lord. Chocobo.
More tracks. And these look fresh. A chocobo was here. And recently. Perhaps it still is.
Well, chocobos are... They're pretty common, right? We've seen a lot of different variants. A silver one, though.
I don't hear anything.
Oh! We got a nest!
Well, I'll be damned.
There's a few more. Take all of them. Hello. Oh, there's 2. Ambrosia, meet your friends.
It's all right. I'm not going to hurt you. Just borrowing a feather for my friend.
No, you can stay here. This is your home. I'm the one who should be leaving.
Thank you. Let's get this back to Gav before they change their minds.
Okay, it's really anger-inducing that those chocobos looked exactly like Ambrosia, and yet Ambrosia was not brought up even one time here. I suspect it's because Ambrosia... Do you remember how we got her? It was a side quest, so maybe it's an optional side quest, but even so, I feel like, come on, this is such an obvious solution. Come on! Okay, before we go back, last one. This is about Lubor's bearer problem. How are y'all doing? You guys still hate Lubor?
Why is everyone being mean to Lubor? He
I'm going to go with him.
No, he wants you to stay.
Here to help me pack? Thanks, but I'll be traveling light. I'm almost finished already, in fact.
You're really going to go through with this, then?
I am. But before I go, there is one small issue I'd like your assistance with. Well, two, in fact.
If it's within my power to help you, I will.
It's the children. I refuse to let them share in my disgrace. And if I leave them here, they surely will. Our friendship would see them ostracized forever. But I can't take them with me either. I can think of only one place where they are certain to be safe and provided for and loved. The hideaway.
Why don't you come with us? Come with us. Where are you gonna go?
Of course. The children would be more than welcome.
Thank you, Clive. I will not forget this.
Lubor, are you still here?
What is it, Ferda? You look pale.
There's been a flood in the Velcroy, a damn big one. The League of Outlaws encampment was completely submerged in ether.
What?
Every last one of the bastards has turned. And they're headed this way.
Bandits are one thing, but Akashic bandits are quite another. The town guard won't stand a chance against them. We need to evacuate. There's no time to lose. Ferda, gather the men. The Akashic may strike at any moment. We must make ready to cover the townspeople's escape. Well, what are you waiting for?
They won't listen to you, though.
Yes, my lord.
If Ferda still sees him as his lord.
Clive, change of plan. The children stay with me for now. I need you to find Conrad and Natalie. Tell them to prepare for a full and immediate evacuation.
Understood.
I'll do what I can to convince everyone else. Wish me luck.
I feel like I can see where this is going. Let's stay quiet and see if it plays out the way I think it's going to.
You have to listen to me. They're coming. You need to evacuate.
Know your place, bearer.
They're not listening.
Why do they always have to make such a fuss?
Huh? What's the... Ah, it's you.
What do you want, Lord Underhill?
To pass on an important message. There's been an ether flood out in the Velcroy. The camp where the so-called League of Outlaws were gathering has been swallowed. They're no longer just bandits. They're Akashic now, and they could be here at any moment. You need to begin preparing for a full-scale evacuation right away.
Oh, do we? And who was it who gave you this disturbing news, might
Are you
I
guys
ask?
crazy?
Lubor, perhaps? The man spreading the same poison out in the square as we speak. You may believe his lies, my lord, but we know better.
But why would he lie about something like this?
Some twisted attempt at revenge, perhaps. If he had not been unmasked, he may well have been elected our leader. A great honor for one of his kind. One he might well feel aggrieved at having been denied.
Lord Underhill, forgive me, but it has become all too evident where your sympathies lie. Lubor cannot be trusted, and neither, therefore, can you.
You may not trust me, but for the sake of your people, ask yourselves if there is any chance that this is true.
There isn't. You can be certain of that. Now be off with you.
Holy crap, these people are so...
You're making a mistake.
They're so unreasonable.
It's no use. Words will not move them.
Then we must find another way to ensure Dalamil's survival.
You're right. Let's speak to Lord Ferda.
These people are ridiculous. They're not...
What's Lubor raving about?
We'll just have to do it on our own.
What commotion is this, I asked myself. A sudden stampede of customers towards my humble stall? No, it was a stampede of customers away from Lubor's.
Lord Ferda.
Sid, what's wrong?
I went to warn Conrad and Natalie about the Akashic, but they wouldn't listen. They've convinced themselves that nothing Lubor says can be trusted.
The bloody fools.
Which means the town guard can't be counted on for support. But I can. If there's anything I can do to help you defend Dalamil, you only have to ask.
I appreciate it.
Sid! Further! I've been looking for you everywhere.
You're still here, Victor. Thought you left.
Victor? I thought you'd left.
I couldn't abandon a friend in need. And Lubor is in need at this very moment. Come quickly.
You have to believe me! The Akashic are coming! They don't eat, they don't sleep, they don't tire, and they don't care who they kill. They're unlike anything that's come before. There will be no parley, no mercy granted! We may have saved the town once, but this is different. I do not ask that you forgive me, but please believe me. If you do not run, you will die. You will all fucking die!
They're gonna think you're threatening them. Don't raise your voice, Lubor.
You'd like that, wouldn't you, bearer?
Yeah, with us out of the way, your kind will be free to claim Dalamil for yourselves.
It's you who should run!
Whoa!
Run, bearer!
Yeah, run!
Run!
Far away!
Wow.
Just go!
Yeah. Oh, come on. Yeah.
Dude, what the hell?
Come on, then.
Oh my god!
Lubor. Wait. Someone's coming.
No. Come on.
Stop! You're hurting him!
Oh!
What did Lubor ever do to you? He solves all your stupid problems and he keeps all of you safe. You know there's nothing he wouldn't do for this town. Who was it who made that cleaver you use every day, Conrad?
And what about your counting table, Natalie? Who fixed that?
Whose men make sure the streets are clean so all your boots don't get dirty?
Who spends all day, every day making sure things run smoothly round here? And none of you ever say thank you. Ever.
But did Lubor ever complain? Well, does he ever stop smiling?
He keeps this whole place going. And you act like it doesn't even exist!
You shouldn't die. Yes, right.
Lubor, we've heard enough.
Wait!
We will not run. The town guard will not abandon the very place it is sworn to protect.
And I will not give up for lost the stores that we labored so hard to fill.
So let's defend the place then.
So tell us, how do you propose we deal with these Akashic of yours?
We won't run, but we will fight.
All right, then. Fine. Gather round if you don't want to die.
Allow me to explain the situation. The ether flood occurred near the village of Cheratina, deep in the Velcroy. The place had been abandoned for years, until the League of Outlaws decided to make it their base of operations. Now they're all turned, and if the scouts' reports are correct, heading in this direction.
They are mindless monsters, driven only by hate and rage, and they are utterly unpredictable. With the bandits, we at least knew how and where they were likely to attack. When these creatures come, Dalamil will have the bitterest fight it has ever faced on its hands. The town guard will muster at the north gate. The rest of us will take the south. Both forces will provide men to serve as scouts and messengers, ready to spread word of the size and nature of the Akashic force as soon as it is spotted. And as soon as it has been, we will converge on its position and see that it is driven back from Dalamil at all costs. Conrad, can I count on the support of the town guard?
Always.
I leave the selection and coordination of the messengers in your hands, Victor. And the command of our men in yours, Ferda. If you would both be so kind.
Consider it done.
As you wish.
Natalie, I would ask that you and your people have the townsfolk barricade themselves inside the bathhouse. And tell the merchant not to waste time securing anything beside the essentials. Preserving life is our one and only concern. As long as we survive, it doesn't matter what trinkets we might lose. Our riches can be regained. And if anyone doubts that, let it be known that the Briar's Kiss stands ready to cover any losses.
Really?
Very well. I shall tell them.
Where do I fit into this plan?
Fight.
Where else but the most perilous place of all? I would like you to travel to the home of our erstwhile League of Outlaws, Cheratina itself. The main host is most likely still there, and Dalamil will not be safe until it is eradicated, root and branch.
A little gardening. How pleasant.
I doubt it. I have a feeling these weeds will be particularly stubborn.
Luckily, so am I.
So you are. All right then, we all know what we have to do. Now it's simply a matter of doing it. For Dalamil.
For Dalamil! We're not gonna do a chant?
Looks like everyone's ready. I'd better not keep them waiting.
Well, I'm glad to see they're coming around to Lubor now. Although that took it took two kids yelling at the adults for that to happen.
There it is. The flood.
But what's waiting for us inside?
Akashics, as usual. Isn't that always the case? Hey, those two guys?
We can't leave a single one alive.
Remember those two guys who scammed us? So in the end, we never got to get revenge on them. It was just it.
Farewell.
Yeah, get 'em. Yeah, guy died. In air. Oh no, wrong one. No, what a waste. What a waste. Get him, everybody. How many more do you want to have come? Get that dude. Those guys too far? How unfortunate. How unfortunate. Twice in a row. Akashic gentleman. Oh, so close. Get him, guys. Wish we had level 5 there. But that's fine. Just chain all this stuff. Yeah, the Rift Slip makes it easy to chain stuff. I think is the primary advantage of it. Goodbye.
The League is disbanded. I should get back to Dalamil and see how the others fared.
I thought we disbanded the League last time already, but apparently there were still some that were around. Not anymore, though.
All the Akashic we were able to find have been dealt with. Seems that might be the last of them.
The last of them here, perhaps.
Lubor, Sir Clive has returned.
Clive! What news from Charatina?
Everyone's dead.
It's done. Root and branch.
I knew you wouldn't let me down.
Thank you, my lord.
Friends, the Horde has been driven back. The Akashic have been defeated. And we need not fear the arrival of any more, thanks to Clive. Victory is ours.
We bloody did it!
We saved Dalamil.
Lubor, allow me to apologize. After all you have done for this town, we should never have doubted you.
But we did. And for that we are truly sorry. We only hope that you can forgive us.
We need you, Lubor. Dalamil needs you. So, if you would still like to be considered for the position of mayor, you have our backing.
You do remember that I'm a bearer, don't you?
We do. But that is not a stain on your character. It is a stain on ours. We thought only of what we perceived bearers to be, not what you truly are. The man who saved Dalamil twice over.
I see. But I will only accept your proposal on 2 conditions.
Name them.
Firstly, that you will both do everything in your power to rally your people to my cause.
What?
If the Town Guard and the Merchants League do not accept my leadership, it will be doomed from the start.
Okay.
Unity is the key to defending Dalamil, and I do not doubt that we shall need to call on our combined strength again. When that time comes, I will expect us all to pull together, just as we did today.
Of course. You have our word.
And secondly, you will accept that if I am to lead you, the mistreatment of bearers must end here in Dalamil. Any bearer within our walls shall be afforded the same rights as any other citizen. They will not be judged by what they are, but who they are.
As we failed to do, and came so close to losing everything.
We agree to your conditions. And we have only one in return. That you continue to work for the good of Dalamil, as you always have.
Condition accepted. Well then, it seems my mayorship is all but confirmed. Do I get some sort of special hat?
You already have a special hat on. Okay. Well, what can I say? We solved racism.
How fickle fate can be. Not so long ago, I had resigned myself to leaving Dalamil in disgrace. And now, I find myself her leader. Here. For everything.
A seal? know, a memento for my
Lubor.
chambers.
About the children.
Fear not, you are of course relieved of your responsibility. I would sooner face another horde of Akashic than see them brought up as outlaws.
Wow!
I'll make sure they're safe here.
I don't doubt that you will. And not just the children, but everyone in Dalamil.
I'll do my best. Can't have all your hard work going to waste.
You know, I kind of like the idea of this kind of quest, but I feel like the execution always leaves a little bit to be desired. The way the dialogue is always like a moral lecture makes everything sound very on the nose. We are so sorry, Lubor! We were wrong for being racist. Now we understand that we were in the wrong, and you are, of course, someone we should respect. And they opened up my mind. That would be... second last quest?
I shall devote my every effort to creating a haven for man and bearer both. Just like a certain someone else I know. Someone to whom I owe a debt of gratitude.
Well, we all start somewhere, I guess.
Well, I certainly didn't expect it, but Dalamil seems more united than ever. I'll have to redouble my efforts to bring Costness under control. Can't have Lubor showing me up again.
From bearer boy to mayor of Dalamil, how far Lubor has come, and how richly he deserves it.
The only reason they are okay with him now is because he does good for the community, though, but I also kind of feel like, well, a bearer is just a normal human, even if they don't do any particular big accomplishments or whatever. You should still not stone them, I would hope. Okay. Are we good? Are we good? For real?
It was no trouble at all.
Clive, you're back. How'd you get on? Any luck?
Any luck, you say?
Crystals crack. Is this what I think it is? Where in the hell did you find it?
It's a long story.
Right there on the road to Eastpool. Who'd have thought it?
Everything up there's been abandoned for years. The empty cabin made for the perfect shelter. Though I fear my presence may have forced the poor creatures to look elsewhere.
Don't blame yourself, Clive. The Blight's right on Eastpool's doorstep. They'd have had to move on before long, even if you hadn't have turned up. They'll find a new home. Trust me. After all, that's what us endangered animals do. Anyway, what matters is, you managed to nick us one of their quills before they could run off. And now all that's left is to fix it to the carving.
I didn't know you could carve.
Reckon there's a lot you don't know about me. Like the fact I'm as good with a whittling knife as I am with a sword. And that bone Ember gave me's a dream to work with. What did you say it was from again? An Avis?
But it weren't your Avis, Sid. I slew one of my own at last.
Really?
So all those long nights in the pit finally bore fruit. I'm proud of you, Ember.
Don't speak too soon. I ain't done my trial yet.
There we go. What do you think?
I think if you ever hang up your scouting cap, you'll be able to make an honest living.
Now will I? I should go and see if Ed is awake.
Give it my best.
You can give it to yourself. Come on.
It was your idea.
Ah, me lords.
How are you feeling?
Well, thank you. Is something wrong?
Wrong? No, nothing like that. What it is,
Go on, please. It's beautiful. Did you make it?
We did. Aye. It's from all of us here at the Hideaway. Your new family, like. It's a good luck charm. We may come up north when a band's on the way. I mean a baby. To let him know that they're part of the family too. Oh, I hope you like it.
Why is Gav so nervous?
I don't know what to say. I thank you, my lords, for everything.
If there's anything you need, just let us know.
I will.
Clive, fancy a swift off? I'm thirsty.
He's talking normally again.
Convinced.
Why is he all stuttery with her? Does he like her? Or is he just not used to showing his emotions or something like that?
Don't you think you've had enough?
Oh, we're celebrating. I'm gonna be a father.
I think Edda might have something to say about that.
Does she like you back?
You know what I mean.
I don't remember any depiction of that.
Light in these dark times. Wasn't long after me 10th name day. My mum told us she was with child again. I was over the fucking moon. I was looking forward to having a little one to lord it over. What with me being the runt of the litter. Thought I'd finally have a chance to prove to the world that I could be a big brother. Imperials came the day she went into labour. Had myself a baby sister. And then I didn't. Me whole family gone in a blink, while I hid in the cellar like the spineless little arsehole I was. Great brother I turned out to be. I'll never be a leader. And I'll never be a hero. I'm just a daft little dog who comes running when his master calls. I'll never be like you, or Sid, or Jill, or even Torgal.
No!
Have you finished?
He's drunk.
Maybe.
Do you know why you're our best scout? Because you don't need anyone to hold your hand. Without your resourcefulness, your courage, your determination, I don't know where we'd be. Maybe hanging off a cliff like,
That was only the once.
Exactly. You learned from it. And here you are after Founder knows how many missions, stronger for everyone. And let's not forget Rosalith.
Yes, you saved us.
Who was it who freed me from the dungeon? Who was it who ran to Jill's rescue?
That would be me.
Yes, it would be.
Because you're our brother, Gav. My brother.
Your brother.
Which means that when the time comes,
I get your room. And your sword.
But not the name Sid. That ain't for you. But not everyone has to be a leader, though. A leader can only be a leader if he has good followers. Not everyone is cut out to be a leader.
I may have had one too many.
You may have had 10 too many.
I said I was thirsty. Better get back to work anyway. After I walk this off. Clive?
What is it?
Thanks for, you know.
I know.
You're my bro. Don't worry about it. And you are our very best scout. Nobody can scout better than you.
One of these days. One of these days, I swear it's gonna be me who drinks you under the table.
If by under the table you mean retching on my boots half the night, I reckon one of those days was yesterday.
Ha ha, you think you're so funny. But just wait till we crack open the bottle I left in your chambers. That stuff's strong enough to burn the horns off a behemoth.
Sounds like I'll be needing some new boots.
Runs back to the spot he has by the counter.
Do you think they'll come back?
Of course they will. It's just a big crystal. How hard could it be?
Yeah, that's the spirit. We'll be back in no time, probably. You know what we gotta do? Collect our reputation stuff. Because the rewards are so good and I really care about them. But we should look at it anyway. I can't believe we actually finished this batch of side quests.
Oh, I wasn't expecting you back so soon.
I'm struggling
Come to claim
between
your just
talking
desserts.
about how I feel about this whole string now, or should I leave it till the very end, because I feel like we're pretty close anyway. Faith Undying. We are the shadows that quicken in the firebird's wake, and from the shadows do serve our Lord and those who would be his wings.
Here you are.
Ring of the Swift Shot.
All done?
Nothing here?
Fancy a look at the list, do you? Anything catch your eye?
That's it.
Seen enough?
I think we're good. Like, for real this time. We'll go back and check out our hideout and all that, our room. And we'll read the last of the active time lore. Which, yeah. We're pretty much ready. So my first thought upon finishing all this, this last string is that probably we've seen some of the best side quests at the end here, but there was no reason why they had to backload it like this. Like this Gav one. I think what they're intending on is, oh, it's right before the last battle, so you're making final preparations and saying goodbye to all your friends. But the amount was way too much. Like, way too much. And, like, this Gav one could have been way earlier. It depended on nothing. It depended on the scout that we were training near Northreach, so it really could have opened up earlier, which would help us get to know these people better earlier. I think I would have preferred it that way instead. And, like, just thinking about, like, 90% of this, there's no reason why they had to only open it up at the very end here. Like, stuff like Dion. Okay, so he didn't come until... He only came back to help us late. Okay, that one's okay, but... You know what I mean? There's just no reason why they had to do it like this, and it makes it very... How many hours did we spend on this? Like, 5 hours. The Triunity. Three's Company. Bringing together 3 men from differing backgrounds was not to be without some difficulty. However, come together we did for a better Valisthea. The Triunity was but a first step. A long, more bitter journey awaits us all. One that will almost certainly end in hardship. Yet what matters most is not the destination, but what we can learn from one another while on the road there. You have paved that road for us with your courage, Clive. Now we must have the courage to walk it. Your loving uncle, who doesn't even have a name. A new day. I am not so foolish to believe that a single shaming at the hands of the town urchins can dispel a lifetime of hatred built up in one's heart. Just as a pot cannot be made clean by reminding it of its grime, it takes effort, persistence, and more often than not, a stiff brush and bucket of lye. But more than that, it takes time. Fortunately, your courage and leadership has granted us just that. We must now decide whether to embrace or waste it. A wise man once said that the night is always darkest before dawn. It is a good thing, then, I count one who burns so bright amongst my friends. I'm glad they accepted you, finally. Now we have Vale Signboard, Northreach's brothel. The Vale's proprietor, Isabel, knows it best as a safe haven in a storm, the town that took her in, and the man she loved when the rest of the world shunned them. Briar's Kiss Signboard, the finest forge in Dalamil, run by the puckish and precocious young forge master Lubor. Crimson Caravan Signboard, Clay Hearth Signboard, Undying Headquarters. It's a culmination of all the quests that we've done so far. Rusted Battle Helm from my dad. Why was my dad buried there specifically though? I wonder if there was meaning in that. Snow Daisy Garland, hand-woven by Jill from flowers picked on the shores of Oile-faced Bay. The garland rekindles memories of a more innocent time and speaks of a love that can never fade. Sid's Goblet, model airship from Mid, symbol of her dream. Mid has allowed Clive to hold the model so that once she gets famous, we can sell it for money. The Triunity Accord. Hopefully, after we save the world, this will mean a new age. Stolus Quill. Harpocrates has invited us to become a writer once we're done with our journey. I don't know about that. I don't really feel like I'm a writer kind of type, but we'll see. Scholar's Bonnet. Vivian's academic cap from the University of Canver. She's sharing it with me, so that we can share knowledge. Winter Mead, a gift from Gav. It's made from honey collected in the Northern Territory's short summers and fermented slowly over the next 6 moons. Gav mentioned earlier that he's from the north, right? Just like Jill then. Despite the fact that he can't drink, Gav has insisted he be allowed to share the bottle when the time comes to crack the seal open. Charred Sparring Sword. Clive's old sparring sword, salvaged by Torgal in the aftermath of the Iron Blood invasion and hidden at Clive's original hideaway, the Rookery. It is a reminder of who Clive once was and who he has become, as well as of the unbreakable bond between lifelong friends. We got a thing full of stuff. Jill, you doing alright?
What is it, Clive?
Just checking on you.
You can always be strong, Clive.
Okay, the very last bit here. We're almost there. I feel like I need to apologize a little bit because I feel like I've been complaining a bit. A bit being maybe a bit of an understatement too. I usually try to save that kind of commentary towards the end so that we're not doubling up or tripling up on complaining after complaining, but this time it's been... there's a lot going on. But I just want you to know that I do enjoy parts of the game, and I'm not trying to hate, but it's possible to like something but also find problems with it in other aspects.
Knowledge lost. I don't believe you've read this particular chapter before. I have quite the find for you today.
Harpocrates, academic mastery. Oh man. Reverie. An impossibly tall tower in central ash that seems to pierce the very heavens, yada yada yada, Built by Ultima when he first arrived in Valisthea. From its heights, he examined the flow of aether through the land and thereby determined the optimum placement for the Mothercrystals. Oh. Oh wow. How are we actually learning these things though? It just kind of pops up into our knowledge. The Sins of Zemeckis. An incident in which the Fallen launched an assault on the Mothercrystal Zemeckis to claim its power, and in doing so, stoked the ire of Ultima himself. In response, the self-proclaimed god destroyed the crystal, leaving behind both a great yawning crater and a cautionary legend that has since spread throughout Valisthea. Oh wow, that's actually just us finding out what this is exactly. Damn. Dominant. The Dominants are but a stepping stone in the creation of Ultima's perfect vessel, Mythos. When Ultima sowed the seeds of humanity, he imbued those assigned to protect each Mothercrystal with an elemental affinity, a power that would amplify over the generations until the Eikons eventually emerged. Though the memory of their power remains even after it is absorbed into Mythos, it takes an increasing toll upon their persons to summon it. And so far, I don't think it's been possible to summon it without going crazy. Fingers crossed for Dion. The Fallen, an ancient civilization that thrived some thousands of years ago. So it's not Ultima then, it's another civilization after Ultima. At the Men of Magitech, the pinnacle of whose magical technology was the airship, enormous cities that soared through the skies. Comparisons of the ruins of these airships and other ancient structures connected to Ultima reveal slight but marked differences, suggesting the former is but a close copy of the latter. Alas, it seems their pursuit of Ultima's most closely guarded secrets led to their downfall, when they sent their fleet against Zemeckis and ushered in the tragedy that saw their civilization fall. That one hole killed everybody? That's crazy. The Ultima civilization. The ancient civilization of the godlike Ultima Collective. Their discovery of magic helped them to thrive, but came at a terrible cost, the onset of the Blight. After their cities fell and their people perished, the few survivors fled to the untouched land of Valisthea to lay the groundwork for their future revival. The apothecary beneath Phoenix Gate and the Tower of Reverie in Waloed are both relics of their civilization, and far predate those of the Fallen. Oh, it's different. A Ready Stone? Though it closely resembles a relic of the Fallen, the way in which it reacts to Clive's presence and urges him to unlock his hidden potential suggests some connection to Ultima. It is likely that this stone, as well as other towers of similar construction that dot the landscape, were created by the creature before he entered his slumber, in order to aid in the perfection of his vessel Mythos. He went into a slumber. He just made us and was like, okay guys, I'm just gonna take a nap now, and when I wake up, I hope you guys have it all figured out. Obelisk, ancient technology of the Ultima Collective, set in place upon their advent to Valisthea in order to guide the flow of aether towards the Mothercrystals, that the land's life force might be harvested all the more readily. The obelisks are separate entities to the Mothercrystals themselves, so the latter's destruction does not affect the former's function. After Ultima cast Primogenesis, the resulting imbalance in the ether made these obelisks glow all the brighter. Children of Zemeckis, the tribe that was once in the lost Mothercrystal of Zemeckis. This Mothercrystal communicated directly with Origin, from whence Ultima kept watch on the world from his slumber, and so those people who lived around it had a closer relationship with their creator than most. It was they who founded the Circle of Malleus to keep the word of their lord and future savior alive. After the tragedy of Zemeckis and the first fall of humanity, the first few survivors of the children of Zemeckis fled to the outer continent, where they continued to worship their god and await the day they would join him in paradise. So Barnabas' mom was one of them, the savior myth. Among the teachings of the Circle of Malleus is the story that the Lord Almighty delivered unto his children a prophecy of the future salvation before hiding himself away in the heavens, a myth that lived on in many of the folk religions that would later supplant it. Though long considered to be naught but a legend, it is possible this reflects a real historical event, Ultima's final words to his humanity before he entered hibernation deep beneath Valisthea. The few remaining sources disagree on Ultima's precise wording, but on 4 points they all align. That on some future day of reckoning, the incarnation of the Lord would appear among mankind and remake the world, that the advent of this incarnation would be heralded by the emergence of several heavenly servants of great might. Dominance? That the Lord's faithful should rally these servants together in order to bring the incarnation into being, and that for their loyalty, they would be rewarded with the greatest gladness. Yeah, but they're not invited to the new world. Ultima's thralls. Largely composed of ether, their only motivation is to do the stuff that Ultima says. Ultima gave them life upon first arriving in Valisthea and immediately tasked them with defending the realm's shores from any outside forces that might seek to interfere with his endeavors. About stealing the magic and ether in Valisthea. The deity now employs them solely to test the strength and durability of his self-proclaimed vessel, Mythos. The Journal of Moss. Lots of secrets about Ultima and the Circle of Malleus here. He inspired a young Harpocrates before. After that, he returned to the Twins, where his long years of wandering from ruin to relic ended. Ended?
If you have a question for me, I should be happy to answer it.
Did he just straight up die then? I never dared to hope that I might one day rival the Great Moss, but now... Sage for the ages, we're the best. Harpocrates, congrats. The Dalamil Inn. Literal oasis. We try to stone Lubor, but now he's the mayor. Everyone respects him, despite being a bearer. Seratina. A humble settlement situated on Dhalmekia's Velcroy Desert, long abandoned. The League of Outlaws were here, but we killed them also, whatever. That's it, I believe? Okay, we got quite a few here. I think these are all. Let's start from the bottom because I feel like it. Edda, a young woman with child who made her home in Isla, and now we took her back. Gav seems pretty taken with her. It's speculated that the reason she survived is because a kid inside her is a bearer. Well, I hope the kid ends up being okay. Keyhole. Hey, you haven't come up again. Did Terrence find you? An orphan girl who pays for her bread by making and selling medicines. Her travels took her from Dhalmekia to the Crystalline Dominion, where she nearly lost her life when the city was all but destroyed by Bahamut. After the flames died down, she labored to mend the wounds of the injured townspeople, eventually coming across Prince Dion, who she nursed back to health. Does she know, though? Oh, she must know, yeah, because everyone knows that Dion is Bahamut, right? And yet she still healed him. That's pretty kind of her. Republican Prime Minister. He is gone. He's been gone. No one knows. He could be dead. He could have fled. Eugen Havel. Former Field Marshal of Dhalmekia, he signed the Accord alongside my uncle. Yeah, we're trying to just bring some stability to the realm. Sir Terrence. Prince Dion's faithful bodyguard and his lover. Joined the prince in his coup in the Crystalline Dominion, but then everything went to hell. Followed him to Randala, but then Dion sent him away again, begging him to care for the orphan girl Kihal, that those to whom he is indebted to might be spared further danger. Yeah, he sent them away on purpose pretty much. Cyril. Bearer of the Burning Quill. The Order is devoted to the service of the Phoenix. They come to see eye to eye after Clive and him have a bit of an argument about what a dying person's life is really worth. But he's happy about the whole Martyrs Registry thing. Yote. An Undying. She was sworn to serve Joshua, but Joshua told her to stay here. Oh! While it is her sworn duty to serve and protect Joshua, her true feelings for him run far deeper. After Joshua relieved her of her obligation, she still worries for the sickly prince's health. Yeah, that's a bit worrying. Elwyn. During his reign, he strove to bring an end to the mistreatment of bearers and the people's reliance on magic. Really? Even the people's reliance on magic? I feel like they're posthumously making my dad seem like such a saint, but we didn't see any of that while he was still alive. Everyone didn't like it though. The nobility didn't like it. He didn't achieve anything in his lifetime because that's a really big goal. But he wants his sons to continue on with it. Byron. Uncle. Together with Eugen Havel and Quentin, he founded the Triunity, an accord that sets out how the nobles, armies, and common folk of Valisthea shall come together to see the crises that blight the realm, want of food, water, security, and shelter. Kind of wonder if they really have that kind of authority, but I guess it's better than nothing right now. Sir Wade. He's now in Eastpool. Protecting bearers. Starting a new home. High Cardinal. Yes, Northreach. At least he's sorry about all the stuff, I guess. Sabine. Duke of Oriflamme's daughter. The two reconciled after the whole bickering in Northreach, and now they're all working together. Good. Quentin. Oh, Quentin. Lost a lot of people during the whole Attack on the Justice thing, but now he's gonna build a new Lost Wing. And he signed the Accord. Martha. Took in a lot of bearers. She nourishes the seeds of a better world that she and the Guardians of the Flame have planted in Eastpool. Isabel. Yeah, she came together. All the little cities are coming together. Northreach. She fell in love with a bearer. The Veil took her in. He died, but she's still grateful. Renz. An orphan in Dhalmekia who helped save Lubor. A frank and forceful soul who enjoys nothing more than watching the townspeople at work and helping them with their tasks. Drika, the other orphan, who helped Lubor. Kids, it's nice, you know, they haven't been poisoned by all the weird prejudices of the world yet, so they like Lubor a lot. Victor from Cosnus, but he seems like he's permanently in Dalamil nowadays. He makes regular visits, becoming firm friends with Lubor and earning the trust of the townspeople. Good, I guess. Lubor went from nearly dying to becoming the mayor. Good. Everyone trusts his leadership. Eloise lost her brother but continues on the good fight with the Crimson Caravans. Theodore, taken by the Aether Flood. Wishing his sister a long and happy life until his final breaths. Zoltan. How could I forget? Zoltan and Blackthorn made me Ragnarok. And they saved Dravoch. Ember. A curse breaker in training. We let him have a second chance. Vivian Ninetales, scholar strategist. From Canver. After learning of a plot on her life, she came to the hideaway, and we found that crazy book for her. Harpocrates II Hyperboreos. Imperial Tutor. He used to be Dion's tutor. That was a really sweet thing he did for Dion. The whole wyvern tail thing. Mid. Her dream of flight. She wants to make an airship, but I don't know if it's gonna be possible. Even if she does it, she's gonna destroy the technology. Or so she says. Doris. We try to get her friend Chadwick back, one of her fellow bearers that were also enslaved by the same master, but he was gone already. But we saved a young bearer girl back in the prison in Waloed. So it wasn't for naught. Jill Warwick. Born a princess in the north, she became a ward in Rosaria. Her dad never really... Yeah, Silvermane is her dad, I guess. He never came up... Really. She entrusted her Eikon to Clive after he was bested by King Barnabas, that he might have the strength to fight their fate to the last. Torgal. Legendary Ice Wolf. He got an anklet from Sid, and they eventually encountered Clive again after so many years. Dion. Oh, Dion. He is now at the hideaway with us, and he met Harpocrates again, who inspires in him a renewed determination to bring Ultima's evil to an end. I'm really scared he's gonna go crazy, just like all the other dominants. I don't know, man. Sleipnir, are you dead for real now? Oh. Wait, what? He was in fact a magical creation of Odin, and when his master primed, Sleipnir followed, taking the form of the Eikon's six-legged steed. Oh, but an Eggy cannot exist without its Eikon, and when Barnabas died, so too did he. He was the horse? Oh, okay. Barnabas, gone. He was ultra-religious, and very into Ultima, but he's gone. Gav. He was the youngest son of a big family. He always longed to be a big brother. However, just as his mother was ready to give birth, his entire family was slain in an imperial raid on his village. Now he has a new family in the members of the hideaway, and swears to protect them, where his younger self could not. Maybe that's why he's so taken with a kid, Edda's kid. It's very uncommon. I don't think we've seen anybody else who's been pregnant so far, so to have new life being breathed into the hideaway directly, it's a small wonder. And I believe that is it.
You are always welcome, Clive.
Alright, I believe we are really ready now, but there is one last thing that I can think of. One last thing, well, I didn't talk to you yet, did I?
What can I do for my favorite nephew?
The Triunity Accord.
Do you know why?
I chose to call it the Triunity, Clive. You may be too young to remember, but this isn't the first time an alliance has been struck twixt the nations of Storm. No, I did my reading. I did my readings in the lore. I know exactly about this.
'Twas not 20 summers past.
That your father petitioned both the Empire and the Republic to join hands with the Duchy, that we might work to mutual advantage in defiance of the Blight. And they, for their part, embraced the notion, or so we believed. Little did we know that the peace Elwyn had worked so hard to secure would be ground beneath the heel of one we least suspected.
Your mother, the Duchess.
In one fell swoop, Annabella robbed us of everything. A nation, a leader, a brother, a father.
But above all,
she robbed us of what could have been. A realm undivided. Elwyn's grand design.
And so you see,
Why I chose to call our new alliance the Triunity. For with it, we aim to preserve not only peace, but a lasting legacy of cooperation. I feel like they romanticize my dad so much. I'm sure he's a great guy, but damn man, he was wanting to free the bearers, he wanted to end reliance on magic, he wanted to unite the realm, he wanted everything.
How's it going?
How's the hideaway? Work had just started on the old hideaway when Sid took me in. Plan was to make it a safe haven for the bearers we were gonna free. I remember when the first ones moved in. They'd hardly dare look you in the eye, let alone speak to you.
But over time,
they started to thaw. They stopped being slaves and became a family, and the hideaway their home. It'll be the same with Edda and her little one, I'm sure. They can make a new home here, with a new family. And with the best big brother in the whole wide world to look after them. Here. What are you looking so smug for? I'm talking about me. You were talking about wanting to be a father. Brother.
I'll hold the fort. Don't you worry.
I know that's not what you were really thinking. No. Okay. I think we're still missing one missive. Let's see if I can trigger it. Yeah, here we go. A hideaway welcome. Edda seems fond of the silver bow we gave her. So much so she's been taking to setting it atop her belly as she rests. To hear her tell it, the rascal kicks something fierce when she does too. Sounds like we've another fighter on our hands, and none too soon. I can hardly wait to teach our newest little cursebreaker everything I know. Though I suppose we can all celebrate first. No need to get ahead of ourselves now. Yeah, after every quest, there's a missive here. Gav is so excited about the new kids and all. Kid. Hopefully kids in the future, once we actually have time to think about that kind of thing. Everyone's just trying to survive right now. We need to make sure that the current population is sustained by, you know, the crops we're growing and all that first, but sooner or later, we will make, I don't know, make the hideaway great again.